Good morning, YouTube. How you doing? Get you some coffee, some eggs, some Scrabble, whatever, and sit down and watch the new episode of Critics of Controversy. Today, you got me. You're stuck with me, Hawkaiser the Final Brave.
And I guess me too, Akuma Soul.
And what are we going to be talking about this time?
Well, quite simply put, maybe about a couple of weeks ago, the final episode of Samurai Jack aired, and I mean the final episode. A lot of people have had very, very mixed opinions about it, and I thought since we very much fall on both sides of the fence in this case, I think it'd be pretty nice to talk about it, discuss how we feel.
It's trash. See you at the next video, guys.
No, we can't just end it like that.
Ah.
Let's discuss it. For everybody, just to give a little context, we've all watched Samurai Jack since it was first airing. I remember watching it when it first started airing with my parents, just sitting down in front of the television in their room and watching it as a kid. So I'm pretty sure we've all had our very strong experiences with Samurai Jack.
Well, I wouldn't say strong experiences, but it was definitely a show I watched when I was growing up. Back in the day. Back when Toonami was on and shit.
Yeah. So let's jump right into it. Let's jump and discuss it. So, as far as Samurai Jack goes, in my beliefs, I think that the ending was actually pretty good. I think that I enjoyed the last season, and my biggest belief as to why many people dislike the last season is because it was very different from the rest of Samurai Jack. But not in terms of the storytelling, but so much as the story structure simply focused on the fact that it was not episodic in the way that Samurai Jack always was known for being, but very much a single plot thread, and it followed straight through to the end.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was different. It was made for the people who like grew up with the series and wanted to end them, but I think that they started out with something really cool, and then they just forgot that they had only like 12 episodes. Cause like the first 6 episodes are really good, and then Ashy has her fucking face turn. It's super abrupt. And then, of course, she's slobbing on the nigga Jack's fucking Japanese dick.
Well,
And like the next to last episode, something like that.
yeah, it's Ashi's entire entire thing being added to Samurai Jack, I feel is both a plus and a minus, to be honest. It added a slightly deeper layer to Jack, because Jack has always been a sullen character who he worked with people, he was friendly with them, but then he was on his way. Having him have somebody else in the story, I feel it gave it a little more. I feel it gave it a little more weight, and ultimately, with the ending of it all, I feel that helped a lot with the fact that, you know, when he killed Aku, Ashi died as well, which, admittedly, it's questionable how that really works, but
I feel like that killing off Ashy was just a fucking cheap way to get a fucking bittersweet ending. It's not the fact that she died that was bad. It was the execution. Like, oh, okay, we're gonna fucking steal this scene from Gurren Lagann right quick, and then we're gonna have her fucking die at the wedding ceremony. Okay, whatever. They had the most fucking ass pull of all ass pulls to get them back to the past.
Well, here's the thing. I feel that they may have realized, oh, we have in fact written ourselves into a corner with the fact that in the very beginning, you realize Aku has quite literally won, and fact is that when you think about it, Jack really had no chance of winning. He had no chance of making it back to the past after a while, and when you think about the entirety of how season 5? That was it?
That was the latest season.
Yeah, season 5, you think about the way that it worked out, where it was that Jack was desperate. There was nothing left. He had no chances of making back to the past. He had lost his sword. I think they realized that they needed something to draw it back to a more, like, a possible victory. Because
Well, see, the thing is, they could have done that without him going back to the past. They could. He didn't have to go back for it to be a chance at hope or a chance to have an ending where Aku hasn't completely won. And I think that him going to the past was a very I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I feel it was just kind of lazy in terms of writing.
Yes and no, because here's the thing. I feel that no matter what way it ended in truth, nobody would have really been truly satisfied. Because
Well, that's because it was they had one season, 12 episodes to wrap everything up. If it was like 2 seasons, okay, I think they could have shat out a better ending than the garbage that we got. Because it just felt abrupt. Like the first 6 episodes, they were fine. Like they had good pacing. Like you didn't feel bored watching it, and it was alright. But like after that, it just goes into breakneck speeds, and it doesn't make any sense.
well, I will agree that it does get a little bit faster, but I don't think giving it 2 entire seasons would have made that better. And in truth, I really do think that Ashi's existence kind of works a little bit better than it's given credit for, because her, like, thematically, her entire existence is meant to be that Jack fell in love and he found something in the future that he really wanted to keep, but he still knew that his mission was to make it back to the past to defeat Aku. So he realized, I have to choose, and when he thought that he was able to make it back with both, he realized he can't have everything. And I think that really worked out, and I think it worked even better with the fact that he realized that he couldn't have Ashi, he couldn't have the future that he wanted, but in his last few moments, he realized that he really did achieve his goal. He saved the past, he got what he wanted in the end. I know you have the problem with the bittersweetness of it, or the attempted bittersweetness of it, but in many cases it works a bit better to have that level of bittersweetness, because imagine if he had just defeated Aku and made it back to the past. I mean, that would have left a really bad taste in my mouth, honestly.
Well, that's because you're a snob, but I think a simple ending can be good too, because you don't have to have some fucking what's the word? Fucking hidden message. Sometimes the good guy can just win or lose. It doesn't have to be so complicated as to try to bring in Aku's the source of me being alive, which was never explained to begin with, never alluded to. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, it makes sense for her to stop existing, because then Aku would have never gotten to the point of creating her in the future.
That's not how they explained it.
Well, no, that's not how they explained it. In truth, it's a time paradox, where the second that they went back to the past, the second he destroyed Aku, Ashi should have just blinked out of existence. Jack shouldn't have remembered her. Then, essentially, she would have never brought him back from the future to the past. And then, it's a huge time paradox. And the obvious argument is, oh, well, it's magic, or oh, well, it's a show, you're putting too much thought into it. But that is probably the biggest problem with it. Just the fact that she just kind of dies, and it's not even that she dies, really, it's that she dies and fades away. Implying that was like a time paradoxy thing. Because
or like a magical thing. It's not explained. It's up in the air. If you take what the character said literally, then because Aku was dead, she would die too.
Yeah, so I just have one final point, and then I guess we can wrap this up. My final point is the fact that I do believe it ended correctly. I think it ended by giving Jack, especially in this season, getting to see him go through stages where he felt that there was no chance of him winning anymore, that he had lost everything, that hell, he was going to kill himself even. I think dealing with all that this entire season, including the ending, works out pretty well. I think it was a nice ending, and I'm happy to see that Samurai Jack ended. I'm happy to know how it finally all ends.
I wish it would have never had a new season if it was gonna end like this. It's trash.
Alright, so I guess that's it. So if you guys want to leave comments, or maybe hit us up on Twitter or whatever else, you can always find those links in the description. And I guess
Better not hit me up on Twitter.
we'll
see a single message.
We'll catch you guys next time on Critics of Controversy. So take care.